All right. Good afternoon. Excited to be in game week. Players are certainly excited to be playing a game finally. The preseason camp is so important. It's so important for the preparation, not just for the first game, but for the entire season. And it's been a good camp, but you get, I think, just weary of practicing against the same guys and the same interactions every day, and it's it's why we practice, is the opportunity to play the games. So we're looking forward to this weekend. We certainly have a formidable opponent, Coach Witten, just an incredible record there, and the program that he's put together. The team that we're facing on Friday night looks like an FBS team, and we've said as a staff they could come into the American Conference and compete, and so it's going to be a real challenge for us, and we realize that. I hope that our guys will over the next 3 days kind of nurse some of the nagging injuries we've had. We've had some, and get healthy and be ready to play. I know we'll be excited to be in Mikey Stadium and open the 2025 season, and so hopefully we'll be able to play well enough to be able to hang in there and have a chance.
Rich DeMarco starts off.
I think that these guys really have been able to table that, and they're very proud to have won the American Championship a year ago. This is a new team. It's a new group of seniors. Some guys in some positions that they haven't been in before. They're excited for those opportunities, and we're very aware that we're not the 2024 team. What we will be at the end of this season is all based upon what we do beginning on Friday night throughout the season. So I think our guys have a very healthy humility about them. It doesn't mean that they lack confidence in their ability, but we haven't played a game together yet. So there's a lot we're going to find out on Friday night, and I think, as I said, it's been a good camp, and hopefully we'll be ready to compete against Tarleton State. I've told you, Rich, I'd be happy if we could play every game at home. I really like playing here at Mikey Stadium, to dress in our own locker room and to be in front of our own fans, and just the familiarity of being here. The travel is challenging. Doesn't matter how short the distance is. To go away from home is a challenge. So it's great to be at home, and I know our guys will be excited to be in front of the Corps Cadets, and the home fans, and to see that the grandstand's going up on the other side. It's exciting for everybody. It's exciting for us and our fans, and for the academy to see that incredible stadium rising up out of the ground. So though there won't be fans over there, this game, it's going to be exciting to be in a different Mikey Stadium. No, I think it's kind of shaken out maybe as we expected. A lot of veteran players, which is great. I like seeing juniors and seniors up there at the top of the depth chart. There's a lot of them. Guys like Eric Ford getting his first opportunity to really be the guy and start. Gavin Shields at the outside linebacker to the fielder in the nickel position. Those two guys really fired up for them. Colin Madison has grown up in our program. He's starting at safety along with Casey Larkin. Some familiar names, but new faces in the starting lineup. On the offensive line, Will Jeffcoat's been playing as well as any of our guys up front this preseason camp, and along with Paulo Generali and Brady Small. It's a really good, solid group of guys in the interior offensive line. Teddy Williams will make his first start, as will Henry Appleton at the tackle position. So those are new guys. Coleman being the starter at quarterback. You know that we knew there'd be a battle, and coming out of spring, he was at the top of the depth chart. He still is. He's really done a great job earning that position. So the stable of running backs that we have, though Reed being the only one that's got a lot of experience carrying the football. Jake Rendina is a guy that's had plenty of snaps, and Carson Smith's going into his junior year. So there's some guys there that are going to play and contribute, be able to carry the ball, and we've got veteran Liam Fortner playing receiver, though he's been a little banged up in camp. There's been some guys, KP Pointer and Brady Anderson, guys like that have really shown some promise and had good camps. So I'm excited. I'm just excited to see our guys play and play against somebody else. That's where the great challenge comes in. We can look good in practice and we can prepare in meetings, but we got to put it together and put it on the field, and it's going to be a great test for us. I mentioned Carson Smith at the B-back position. Briggs Bartosh is a very talented sophomore. He's got a different gear, and I'm excited about him. Samari Howard is playing opposite of Noah Short at the slot positions. Those two guys will start. Brady Mott has had a good camp. David Clerk, Trey Benson, all guys in the depth chart at the slot position, and I'm excited about them. A guy that's been just had a really good camp, and I think is a really good player, is Parker Pulaski at tight end. And he may be as athletic and as talented as any tight end we've had since I've been here. And so I'm looking forward to seeing him play on Friday night throughout this season. Hopefully he can stay healthy. He's just a really good player for us. So at tight end, Brian Dyer has been a real pleasant surprise for us. Just growing and mature. He's going into his junior year. He'll back up Parker. Tex Brannon is a sophomore, along with a couple other guys in his class, Noah Pryor and James Rothstein. We've got a really good group of tight ends, and excited about them. I mentioned Liam Fortner, veteran guys like Toby Olawale. Both those guys have been banged up a little bit and may be limited, but we expect them to be back. KP Pointer, Brady Anderson, Kurt Thompson, all those guys have provided the depth at wide receiver, and they all can do the job for us. And with the exception of Brady, are all veteran players going into their junior year or their senior year. I don't know yet. Certainly Bryson Daly was a big part of our run game last year, setting the record for touchdowns and well over 1,000 yards rushing. I don't know if we'll be the same with Dwayne and the carries that he'll get. Those may get spread out to some of the other guys, to Noah, to Hayden, to their backups. But I still expect that Dwayne's going to carry the football a lot for us. He's a talented player. He's quick. He's got good speed, and I think he'll have a good year as a runner for us as well. I don't know if we'll look exactly the same, but we're not gonna completely change the offense. It really is. There are all things that you saw us do a year ago that we'll continue to do this year. Just maybe more of some things than others, which might be a little different from last year. Kale's just a winner. He's a tough kid. He's a tough runner, a competitor. And when he gets into game situations, be it in practice or the limited snaps that he's had, he's just a great competitor. And he has a fiery spirit about him. I think everybody that's out there on the field with him really kind of gravitates toward him and feeds off of that energy that he brings. So he's really a very solid quarterback, and he's in a backup role to Dwayne right now, but he certainly could go in there and be the starter and I think do a very good job for us. We're just going to try to win the game, Ken. And as I said, I think Tarleton's got a really good football team, and I think it's going to be a real challenge for us to try to beat them on Friday night. Their quarterback, their run game, their speed and athleticism throughout defense. They run the ball very effectively. They've got an RPO game that's really challenging, and their defensive coordinator, Coach Nix, is a veteran coach and I mean, just a terrific football coach. So they're a well-coached team and a very talented team. So, in terms of trying to determine who might play and what our thoughts are right now, Dwayne Coleman's our starter, and we expect to have to play him the entire football game. Thank you.
Austin, go ahead and start calling on people on Zoom.
We'll go to Charles Grievous first. Charles, go ahead.
Good afternoon, Coach. Charles Grievous from GoBlackKnights.com. First of all, best of you for upcoming season and especially on Friday.
Thank you.
You touched upon this a little bit, but I can go back to it for a second. One of the most notable things, at least from my perspective, was that the 2020-24 offense was geared towards and around the talents of quarterback Bryson Daly. You just mentioned that Bryson's gone, the reins are handed over to Dwayne Coleman. Comparatively speaking, will there be little or a lot difference relative to what the offense looks like under Dwayne?
I don't think the offense is going to look a whole lot different. As I said, we relied on Bryson Daly to carry the football a whole lot for us a year ago. But Kanye got a lot of snaps and a lot of carries and was a 1,000-yard rusher himself. So, I hope that we can rely on Dwayne to carry the football for us. I think having a quarterback that is a run threat that's a plus added for an offense, and we're certainly confident in Dwayne. He can carry the football. He's quick and has good speed and not built the same. So, it may be different, but in terms of what we look like offensively, we didn't go out and drop a bunch of new plays and put new stuff in because we didn't have Bryson Daly anymore. The things that we have in our system, the pieces that are in place, may rely on some other pieces more than we did a year ago, and some pieces less than we did a year ago.
Great. And tradition has shown us that the Army offensive line, as it goes, so goes the offense, and that was very evident last year with you leading the nation in rushing, the Marvel winners of the 2024 Joe Moore Award for best O-line in the country. You lost a couple of key offensive line players via graduation. Can you talk about how this current group has come together, and how excited are you to see them unite and perform for the first game on Friday?
I think we've got a good offensive line, and certainly having Brady Small and Paulo Generale back, two very important pieces to that Joe Moore Award offensive line and the success that we've had. I don't know that I've ever seen a really good football team that didn't have a good offensive line, and so they're going to be key for us. I think their temperament, personality, that I hope that our team kind of feeds off of the offensive line, and that's the one position on the football team that really there aren't any statistics other than negative statistics. Did they give up a sack? Did they give up a hurry? There's nothing else that people actually track in terms of statistics that go on the stat line goes to an offensive lineman individually. So that unit together and how well they play has everything to do with how successful we are as an offense, running the football and passing the football. And I think we've got a good group. Obviously, the two veterans back. Will Jeffcoat's a veteran player. He's tough and rugged. And I think that guard box, there's guys, Braden Bartosh, Tanner Bivens, Kyle Kloska, Lane Parks, all guys that are playing in the interior that I think are really good and really tough. Teddy Williams moved from tight end to tackle, and he really has grown into that position. He's got the body type and the skill set. Brett Toth, who was a very athletic offensive lineman, was a high school tight end, and Teddy's kind of built that way, long and athletic. And then on the other side, Henry Appleton, who's had a great camp. He's just tough as nails. Those two guys are in the starting positions, and then backing them up, Tyler Lee, who's going into his junior year, and Xavier Archowski, who's going into his sophomore year. Both really good players, and Tyler's played a bunch of different positions, played both guard positions, played tackle, has a very good understanding of the offense. So I think it's a solid unit, along with the tight ends with Pulaski and Brian Dyer, who are both veteran guys going into their junior year. So I think we've got a chance to have a really good offensive line unit.
Great. And my follow-up and final question moves towards the defensive side of the ball. I'm not ready to designate this as linebacker unit just yet, but the group of Ford and Thomas and partner will make any DC exciting. Can you talk about the linebacker core and what this group means to the success of the defense?
Beginning with the two captains, Caleb Fortner and Andon Thomas, those are two really outstanding football players. They play fast, they're very confident, they're good tacklers, smart, terrific leaders, which is why their teammates voted them captain, and they're really the core of our defense. But up the middle, I think I've said this before. Paul Johnson used to say you got to be good up the middle, good at center, good at quarterback, good at B-back. On defense, good at nose, good at inside linebacker, good at safety, and I think we're good up the middle. Cody Harris-Miller's a really tough nose guard, and Casey Larkin, just a terrific player on the back end. I mean, those guys are all good players, but rounding out the linebacker crew, really, Eric Ford is the outside linebacker to the boundary, and the nickel position, Gavin Shields, which is where Jimmy played, Jimmy Charlo, and I think Gavin's built a lot like Jimmy, and that's a really good unit. And there's some guys that are in backup positions that probably won't play as much. We're not going to rotate the linebackers like we do the D-line, but there's some good players in the depth there that we're excited about. That'll be big contributors on special teams, and they'll play some snaps. But hopefully that crew, those four guys that are playing those positions, can stay healthy, and I think we'll get a lot of mileage out of them in helping our defense be successful if we can keep them in the game.
Thanks, Coach. Best to you on Friday.
Thank you, Charles.
We'll go to Seth Mendelson next.
Good afternoon, Coach. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
My question goes back to Tarleton State. You mentioned they're a good team, and they're a very good team, and I agree with you. I talked to some people down in Texas, and they're treating this game as a statement game for Tarleton State. They talked about how if they can knock off West Point, maybe they can even move up to a different level down the line. How do you, I'm not surprised by that either, but how do you keep your team focused on Tarleton with Kansas State coming down the line just a week later? Or is that just easy? What's your opinion on that?
Tarleton State's already prepared to move up to the next level. They've already got FBS players. I mean, they beat the brakes off Portland State a week ago. They're a playoff team. I've coached SCS football. I was at that level at Georgia Southern, and the top teams in that league can play FBS football. I felt like when we were at Georgia Southern that we had the talent level and a team that could compete at the FBS level. Now, I'm not saying we go into a Power 5 league and compete, but you know, Appalachian State, James Madison, all these teams that have moved up, the great teams that Youngstown State have had for so many years, Tarleton State. There's a lot of FCS football programs that can play at this level. They're already prepared to play at this level, and so our guys recognize how talented they are, and we're not so talented ever that we can overlook anybody. I mean, they've got as many guys on their team, perhaps more, that had scholarship offers to traditional colleges as our guys. I mean, it's not like our locker room is just loaded with guys who had multiple scholarship offers and multiple FBS offers. Our guys are tough players who develop and grow up in our program and learn to execute as well as they can. That doesn't mean we don't have talented guys, and that doesn't mean we don't have guys that were offered scholarships other places. We do, but we're not so different from Tarleton State that it's a different level of football. In fact, I'd argue they're as athletic and as fast as a lot of teams in our league, in the American Conference right now. And I've never claimed that our team is the most athletic and the fastest team in our league. In fact, we're not. So we're going to have our hands completely full with Tarleton State. And what's beyond this game next week or the weeks to follow or at the end of the season are of no matter at this point. We're going to have to play really well and be prepared for Tarleton State, and that's our only focus right now.
My second and final question, sir. Talk to us about your specialty teams. They appear to be pretty deep. Excuse me, pretty deep this year in experience. Tell us your view on that.
Well, beginning with the specialists themselves, I think Owen Walter's an outstanding long snapper. He's maybe the most athletic, best football player that we've ever had on any team I've coached as a long snapper. He's outstanding. So I'm really excited we've got him on our football team. As for the kicking and punting duties, we've got really 5 starters in our specialty areas. Wagon Seller's the starting punter. Cooper Allen will back him up. Cooper was our starter 2 years ago. He's our starting holder. Dawson Jones will handle the place kicking duties, and Anderson Britton will handle the kickoff duties. So all those guys have competed and are doing a good job. But the teams that play along with them, the guys that cover kicks and return kicks and block kicks, we spend a lot of time on special teams and take a lot of pride in special teams within our program. Coach Saturnio, who coaches special teams, does a terrific job. I think the culture within that unit is pretty special, and I think that's why we've been able to be successful and play good special teams. It's not because we're the most athletic or the longest or biggest or fastest unit. Our guys just play really hard. They take a lot of pride in it. We spend a lot of time on it, from the fundamentals all the way through the scheme.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this year.
Thanks, Seth.
We'll have Jackson Lane. Go ahead. Jackson, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. The Tarleton State team last week ran for 300 yards on the ground. Just in your perspective, defensively, what does defense have to do Friday night to contain them, keep them from getting to second, third level?
They put Portland State in conflict, and they put a lot of teams they play in conflict with their RPO game. One, they got a terrific running back. They got a really good offensive line. Their quarterback's very talented, so they're not a one-man show. So they can spread the ball around. They got a receiver that I think's an NFL guy. They're just a very talented football team. So their ability to be able to spread people out obviously the way they ran the football last week, very impressive. But that's where we've got to start. We've got to start with being a defense that can stop the run or slow down the run as much as possible, and then hope that we don't give up big plays in the passing game and play solid defense. But they're a challenge. They're talented and well coached, and really good scheme.